Hello. If you're watching this, you probably want to make your own custom Lethal Company suit. The process to make it isn't the hardest, but it can be time-consuming and requires a little bit of determination. This is pretty scuffed, so I apologize, but I figure that a tutorial in general is better than no tutorial at all. Now, the first step you have to do is install BepInX. BepInX allows you to pretty much download any mod with Lethal Company, and I won't go too in depth with it here, but it shouldn't be too hard. After you have downloaded BepInX, you have to unzip it, and then essentially, I believe, just take everything inside this file here and put it into your Lethal Company game file folder. Don't take my word for it. Make sure you know what you're doing before you do this, because I don't want to screw anything over. I'm not liable for anything that you do. But in order to install this, you're going to need Lethal Company's game folders, which is not hard to find. Just right-click Lethal Company, go to Manage, and then click Browse Local Files. This will bring up the game itself, and here's the BepInX file that was here. Now here you will need to install more suits, which comes with this file too. We'll get to that. And third person will allow you to look at your player model and be able to trial and test what you do if you aren't 100% confident and you don't want to have a second person there to look at everything you do. If you open up more suits, here are all of these suits that I've made. There's a couple custom ones. Don't worry about those. The default Glow, Kirby, Knuckles, Luigi, Mario, Minion, Skeleton, Slayer, and Smile will all be in here by default. This text file will not be in here, but we can get to that later if you have questions. The file that I have attached, also in the description and in the Reddit post that you may have come here from, is right here. And once you have, I'm going to use GIMP. If you don't want to use GIMP, then you'll have to figure this out for your thing. But I can't imagine it's too difficult. So just put the template file into this, and there's a lot of colors going on. It's pretty overwhelming at first, but it's not too bad. So how it first works is that you'll probably see the bodysuit parts. These are the most obvious and largest parts. After that, you might notice the lime green. This is the satchel and the straps that go around your main character. But we'll get into all of that. Here we have a key. This allows you to color select, which you can find by going to fuzzy color, which I believe is normally selected when you first install GIMP. And then right-clicking it and clicking select by color. This will allow you to, if you have threshold set to 1, make sure your threshold is set as low as possible. 1 is like not the minimum, but it's what I recommend because everything here is colored specifically what you need. And now on screen is an image of what this file will get you in game. It's kind of a mess, and chances are you won't want to change each individual aspect. Like perhaps you want the normal default hands, or you don't want to change the strap color, or you think the backpack's fine as it is. And that's all fine and dandy. How to work with this template and also use the default as a kind of basis is just bring in the default suit that's in the more suits file, put it into GIMP or your image manipulation program, and make sure that the layer is below template. We'll get to why in a minute here. So once you have done that, you are pretty much ready to go. Say that the only change you want to make is you want a purple suit, which I can imagine some people may want. Either do, come over here, select what color of purple you'd like, and then this is the one part that's a little bit different because the orange, I did not alter the orange suits for the template. As you can see, they are exactly the same as the default. There is no change. So this might be this might take a little bit of trial and error. You might want to boost the threshold a little bit. To 10 seemingly works pretty fine. And all you have to do is go to your pencil. I suggest pencil because paintbrush has soft edges. Go to a brush that you like, crank up the size, and just paint make sure you're set to the right thing, because otherwise this will happen. You don't want to edit the default file. If you make a mistake, you can just press the hotkey Control Z and it'll do it. But yes, make sure you select it on the template file, and then just paint over everything. And now in game, you will have a purple suit as seen here. Now, to address the other issues, mainly the disgusting colors of everything else. This can be easily addressed in a similar manner. In a similar vein to easily painting all of the selected aspects purple, you can right-click on the image itself, go to Select, and then click Invert. This will invert your selection so that everything except the purple is selected. Next, go to Erase, and then erase everything else. So now, the only things that are colored are the suit parts of the template, as you can see here. The default comes in behind it, clearing up all the empty space, and then this is what this looks like in game. If you want to change multiple aspects, all you have to do is make your changes, and then select the color that you want to change. Make sure you deselect the original color. You can do that by using the rectangle tool and just clicking, or you can go to the select and then select none. Select by color, select the bottom of the backpack as an example here, and then let's set that to be just a bright red. Make sure your mode is set on normal, and then all of the aspects that I want to change are changed. Now, it's a similar kind of process. Select where you would like the color to be. Make sure you have it set to threshold 1 so that you don't accidentally select things that may be a similar color on the template. And now, all you have to do is just right-click, select, invert, go to the pencil tool, change it to erase, and everything will fall into place. It's alright if some of the key stays. The key is in a section that is essentially blank space where it is unused in the game, so the key section you can not worry about. You can write whatever you want in this blank space if you want to leave a little Easter egg, but I'll leave that up to you. Now, with all my changes, this is what it looks like in game. Once you're satisfied with your suit, all you have to do is go to File up here and then Export as. This will bring you to the folder of which template originally was in. This is probably why you want to put it into your More Suits folder before you start the process, and just remove it when you're done. You can name this anything you'd like, and the name will show up in-game as the name of the suit. For example, if I wanted to name this suit Purple Guy, it would be as simple as that. All you have to do is export the file, click Export, and now you now have your brand new suit in your More Suits folder, and that will allow you to wear it in game as I've been showing as examples. And it's as simple as that. It really is not all that difficult once you figure out what you're doing. You can add more aspects. You can even go advanced with having different colors on the parts. On the template, typically, I have some labels to assist you. The labels are kind of vague, and that is because I have opened the game probably over 100 times in the past 2 days, because it takes, in order to look at your suit changes, you have to close the game entirely and open it back up after you export the new file. And because of that, it takes a little bit of time each time. I'd say about a minute to test every single iteration, every new iteration. So it can definitely take some time, and for my own purposes, this is all I needed. If you have more, or if you need more, then you might have to look elsewhere or experiment for yourself, because I am tired. But the labels do label a lot of the stuff, as in what orientation the mask is, because I feel like that's the most important part of this whole process. If you want to change your suit, you probably want a custom mask, and that is one of the more complex aspects. We'll get to that later in the video. I have also labeled each individual body part. That way it allows you to understand more fully what you're doing. But yeah, I didn't go too much into it here like I did to the Reddit post, but this sheet is an utter mess. So unless this changes in the future, which I honestly hope it kind of does, this is what you're going to have to deal with for the time being. Again, it's not too hard. It just takes a little bit of time, effort, and determination. One note I do have is anywhere that is labeled bolt, such as here, and here, there's a couple. I recommend don't touch it. They are the same color, as you can see here, as the default, except a couple aspects are changed because those are not actually a part of the bolt. These are parts of the helmet. The problem with that is if you color them in, only parts of each bolt will be colored, and when I say bolt, I mean the bolts on the side of the helmet in game. They are scattered throughout the entire sheet, and so it's a whole ordeal. If you want to, then go ahead, but I would not recommend it. It is a time killer. But yeah, if you just want to change the body colors or pretty much any other aspect of the suit that isn't the mask, that's all you really have to do. Just select what color you would like, color over it, or make whatever changes you like, and get to trial and error. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned if you want to edit the mask. Hi. If you're here, you probably want to edit the mask, or you came back after realizing that you wanted to. The mask is a whole ordeal. For this, I won't be doing a live example. I will be showing an example of what I have personally done, and I hope that'll give you a quick head start on how to accomplish making a custom mask. For this suit, for the example suit, I'll be using a fox suit I made for a friend. And this is what it mostly looks like. Let me unselect so that there's not so much flashing on the screen. Down here, we have the main body of the suit. It's just a scaled down image of a PNG I found on the internet, and it's a little messy, but this is what it looks like in game. That's the nice thing about making custom Lethal Company skins, is that the sheet is already very messy, and there's a lot of blank space that doesn't do anything. So you can abuse that blank space to just hide all of the seams, and it'll work out. Now the face mask is rotated 90 degrees counterclockwise. I'm not quite sure why there's orange parts. Let me just fix that. But that's what the main front of the mask looks like. That's the main meat and potatoes. Up here we have the right side of the mask. Now this section will essentially just be upside down and slapped onto the mask on the right side. It's a little bit of a hassle, but it's important to remember when readjusting, because chances are you will have to readjust the positioning of the sides of the mask, because they won't line up first time with the front. Remember that this is upside down, but it is correctly orientated. It's essentially just flipped vertically. So because the cheeks of the fox are attached to the left side of it, that is where they will be attached when it's flipped and put on. It'll just be lower down. The left side is the opposite story. It is flipped horizontally, and that's why it's attached to the left side, because when it's flipped, it will be instead facing this direction. It is also upright, so that makes it a little bit easier. But yeah, a simple trick to do either of these is to figure out one side and then simply just flip it upside down, because that's pretty much the exact, it'll bring you pretty much the exact same result, and it might save you some time. The reason that it is not directly connected to the edge is because this edge is actually blank space that has been colored in, but I like to just color that in just because it makes it a little bit easier of the whole coloring process. If you want to make it easier on yourself, you can follow these hard edges that are on the template, but there's a little bit of leniency with that. But yes, I know this didn't go too in depth, but that should give you a decent head start on how to do your own custom mask in Lethal Company. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the comments. I'll be sure to get to those. It is currently finals week in my college, so it may take me some time to get back to you because I might be focusing on more real life matters, but I will try my best. Thank you for watching, and if I help one person out there, I'd consider that a win. Goodbye.